when you are old, lying in a sickbed, you will understand that in old age what you can rely on is not children, not money, but how in our lifetime, time flows like running water, accompanied by the passage of years. We will eventually enter old age. When you lie in a sickbed, you will discover that those things that once seemed important, the companionship of children, abundant wealth, may no longer be the most reliable support in old age. The famous actor Chen Daoming once admitted that in the face of life and death, everyone is rushing towards the same end. What is truly worth cherishing is the value of the process and the attitude towards life. Today, through the stories of three elderly people, we will explore the wisdom of facing life and death. They, through the baptism of time, have understood the essence of life. The most reliable support is not others, but the way you spend your remaining years. Perhaps from these stories, you will also find your own wisdom for life. A couple of years ago, due to a mix-up, Chen Daoming was mistakenly reported as dead online. For ordinary people, it is inevitably annoying, but Chen Daoming's attitude towards life and death has always been open-minded. He once said in an interview with Wang Jiangyue that actually everyone is rushing towards death every second. If these 2 hours of conversation are pleasant, these 2 hours are worth it. This consumption of death is worthwhile. Yes, everyone is rushing towards death. The process is worth it. Just as written in Approaching the Edge of Life, the elderly's future is illness and death. When you are old, lying in a sickbed, even the closest children cannot be there in time. Even the wealthiest fortune cannot bring more enjoyment. Since some things are destined to be unavoidable, why not, in the limited time, try to view life and death lightly and make the days worthwhile? Listen to the stories of the following three elderly people. Perhaps you will discover that in the end of life, the most reliable support is yourself. What you should learn early on is the way to spend the remaining years and the attitude towards death. 1. Chun Sike, the wife of a Peking University professor, practiced self-care and avoided seeking medical treatment. In 2017, an elderly person, accompanied by children, insisted on fasting to death at the age of 96. She was Chen Sike, the wife of the renowned Professor Zhao Baoxiu, a teacher at Beijing 101 Middle School. In the last 2 or 3 years before her death, a reporter once asked her what her goal was in her old age. Teacher Chen smiled and said, "First, I want less pain, to live a healthier and happier life. Second, in the last stage of life, I want to go quickly, so as not to become a burden to others." She fulfilled her life goals. As early as when Teacher Chen was 70, she was prepared for departure at any time. She repeatedly instructed her children that if she fell ill or became unable to care for herself, do not resuscitate. Faced with her children's incomprehension and persuasion, Teacher Chen said, "I have no regrets. Now, I only wish to live one more day, and live it with quality. Even if I am to leave tomorrow, today must be lived with quality." Indeed, lingering in a sickbed in a dying state is worse than death for an elderly person. With this mindset, Teacher Chen lived rather tastefully. Every day, she read books, newspapers, exercised, practiced self-care, bought groceries, and cooked. Living alone, she felt fulfilled and complete. Physically, until over 90, she still seldom visited doctors. If she had headaches, fevers, backaches, or body pains, she improved them through diet, massage, lifestyle changes, etc. Mentally, unlike many elderly people who excessively crave children's companionship, she actually preferred not to have children visit too frequently. Afraid the house might feel too empty, she often kept the television on, as if someone was always speaking to her, singing to her. This way, she did not feel lonely. Afraid of having too much idle time, she made a study plan, focused daily on current affairs, literature, philosophy, astronomy, geography, drama, sports, and remained engaged daily. She never experienced depression. Maintaining health depended on herself. Relieving loneliness also depended on herself. As Teacher Chen said, "My experience is that the body is one's own. Only you know the cold, warmth, pain, and itchiness. Exercise and fitness depend on oneself to persist. Mental health also depends on oneself to adjust. Life is just like this, like drinking water. You know the cold and warmth yourself, but people always have a sense of dependence, a habit of seeking outside help, seeking medical treatment, seeking children's company for warmth. But ultimately, it can only address the symptoms, difficult to remove the root cause. Yet, only by seeking within, relying on internal motivation, can one truly improve the quality of life." Here, combining Teacher Chin's personal account, some lifestyle and attitude points are extracted and shared with everyone. 1. One must have medical and health knowledge. The best health doctor is oneself. How long a person can live healthily depends on genetics, lifestyle habits, and also on exercise and self-care. Learning and absorbing medical and health knowledge, understanding one's own physical condition, can help extend health as much as possible. Often, doctors can only treat symptoms. One must be the most knowledgeable about their own condition. 2. One must have willpower. One should do what one should do, not just what one likes to do. For the elderly, many things require persistence, such as buying groceries, cooking, washing dishes, and walking. Doing these daily chores can be tiring, but once stopped, one may never be able to do them again. In old age, being able to take care of oneself is a great blessing. 3. One must have spiritual pursuits. One must have cultural activities. Elderly people should love life, care about current affairs, be broad-minded, and maintain a pleasant mood. This way, they are less likely to collapse in the face of difficulties and can better withstand illness. Learning more and thinking more, building one's own independent spiritual world, can gradually overcome the fear of death. Once elderly people are not afraid of death, they immediately live joyfully. If they cannot overcome it, they are inevitably anxious all day and more prone to depression. Having spiritual pursuits and cultural activities makes old age become a pool of fire and water, constantly flowing with fresh ideas and knowledge. Peking University Grandma Zhu Jingqin manages her estate herself, unwilling to trouble her children. In 2023, an 86-year-old online user with the nickname Succulent Never Ages publicly shared his death arrangements online. He was Zhu Jingqin, a clear-minded grandma who graduated from Peking University Medical School and made significant contributions to the prevention and treatment of infectious diseases in our country. After retirement, she enjoyed making videos online, telling the story of her life and her reflections. In one video about arranging her affairs after death, she openly said that as early as 2020, she had sold the small house she had saved up all her life. She had done her homework, knowing that after an elderly person's unexpected death, the inheritance transfer of property would involve many cumbersome procedures. So, she decisively converted the house into cash, which is convenient for consumption, distribution, and inheritance. After her spouse passed away, Zhu Jingqin personally ran around handling the relevant procedures. Because the couple had been colleagues, having served together in Qinghai, Zhu Jingqin needed to return to her former workplace to handle the pension and funeral expenses. Upon returning to her former workplace, she found that she still knew people there, and immediately breathed a sigh of relief. But she soon thought, When she is gone, her children would have to handle things in a different place, unfamiliar with the surroundings, and it would delay their work. Thus, she thought of a good solution. She created a small group with her colleagues and daughter, entrusting her colleagues to handle all procedures, and finally transferring the money to her daughter. In fact, handling these matters before death is not too difficult. Leaving some property to the children as a supplement is also a good thing. But if not handled carefully, it could turn into a burden, with children running through 5, 6, 7, or 8 departments and waiting for a year or more. Zhu Jingqin wrote a guide for her children to help them manage her affairs after her death. Here, combining this guide and related information, some suggestions are organized and provided for reference. 1. Giving money while alive is better than leaving money after death. While alive, elderly people can distribute a portion of their property to descendants in the form of birthday red envelopes, living expenses, or care fees, etc., at irregular intervals. On one hand, giving directly is more convenient than inheritance procedures. On the other hand, being generous while alive can earn the gratitude and remembrance of descendants, leaving behind more inheritance after death. The descendants might feel it is deserved. 2. Handling Social Security, salary, and pension procedures. If the children are available to handle them, teach them the procedures in advance. When delegation is needed, set up a group or provide contact information in advance to facilitate immediate contact by the children. 3. For properties like houses and cars that are inconvenient to inherit, they can be sold or transferred in advance while alive. Bank card passwords, mobile payment passwords, etc., can also be recorded in paper or electronic archives in advance. 4. For any special last wishes, provide a feasible process in advance. For example, a neighbor downstairs who is about to turn 100 has always wished to be buried at sea after death. For this, he inquired about the process and costs of sea burial at the local funeral service center and solemnly wrote this wish in his will. 5. Maintain the digital life archive. With the advancement of the internet, many elderly people have their own accounts for posting text, pictures, and videos, etc. These accounts often get reclaimed after inactivity. Therefore, establishing an archive early, recording account information and passwords, helps descendants to view and remember them. Elderly cancer survivor Gu Quanping experienced life without regrets before his death. In 2015, a 70-year-old man with cancer, carrying a parachute, jumped from a height of 4,000 meters. He was Gu Quanping, an ordinary farmer from Yinqing, Jiangsu. A few years ago, Gu Quanping was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer in Chongqing. In the following 2 years, he underwent repeated treatments, but his condition did not improve. Seeing his father suffering from the illness, Gu Yisin, his youngest son, was heartbroken. Gu Yisin knew that his father had a wish to see the sea in a distant place. Therefore, Gu Yisin decided to interrupt the treatment and took Gu Quanping and his wife abroad for travel. At that time, no one knew that this trip would rejuvenate Gu Quanping. During the 88-day trip, Gu Quanping first went to the South Pacific coast to pick jellyfish and sea cucumbers, then proudly presented these seafood to his wife. He also showcased his newly learned guitar skills to students at Queensland University, receiving a round of applause. During the trip, it happened to be the wedding anniversary of Gu Quanping and his wife. Gu Yisin took his parents to the skydiving paradise of the Great Barrier Reef, using a thrilling skydiving experience to help his parents commemorate their love. On the anniversary day, Gu Quanping made a flower wreath from wildflowers he had collected and expressed his deep affection to his wife, thanking her for her unwavering care and support. thus experiencing new things along the way and filling in past regrets. After more than 2 months, Gu Quanping miraculously saw improvement in his condition and fully recovered in a few years. This event once caused a sensation online and moved and inspired countless people. Many people said that living a life without regrets through brave experiences might be the best way to live. Indeed, for ordinary people, traveling to the other side of the world is not easy. But we can start with small things, experiencing life we have not yet lived. All right, that's it for today's sharing. Thank you for watching. I hope today's content has touched you. For those who haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click subscribe. This way, we can accompany you every day. Let's grow together, find happiness together, and grow old slowly together. See you next time.